prior to the 60s, we were dealing with the phenomenon of racial segregation. Racial segregation forced us as a people into the spirit of cooperation, into the spirit of cooperative economics. We were completely self-sufficient because we had no other choice. We excelled academically, we excelled economically, we excelled politically because the people who were responsible for our education looked exactly like us. They had our vested interest and no outside influences impacted them. Our leaders, unbeknownst to a lot of them, were seeking what they thought was better. When integration was permitted to take place, unfortunately, there were too many of us who aspired to assimilation. And that is what completely decimated our self-sufficiency. And it took place all over the country. All over the country. The sister mentioned Black Wall Street. That is a story very much like this one. We have this same story repeated in every region where we have ever lived in this country. And it is imperative that our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren have access to this information. Otherwise, they will be duped into believing that where they are now is the place where we have always been.
And we asked enough questions, we'll find out that we're all interconnected. We got to remember now, we came here from different tribes. We had different languages we spoke. We've had to overcome those language barriers. In many cases, but in many cases we have not, because it has not been the way. Can you teach me the same way you teach everybody else? No, we learn a little different. It takes a little different kind of motivation. Do I say segregation hurt us? Well, I thought Malcolm X was right. And that segregation sold us out. Why? Because we gave up all we had. We had black grocery stores, we had black car companies, we had black picture shows, because we couldn't go to the other side. We gave all that up for what? The minute one of us got a decent job, a halfway decent education, what do? We want to move to the other side of town. I want my kids to go someplace else. They're no longer good here. So it wasn't so much what happened to us. It's what happened to us without reparation and without understanding on our part to love who we are. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and thank all of you. Again, our website is HaytiTheHeritage.com. HaytiTheHeritage.com. Feel free.
Just fantastic book.
Very good.
Really embodies both.
Very good point. We still have about 10 minutes, guys. If you got something to, oh, we got someone who hasn't spoken yet. Okay. You know what, before you speak, again, the site is HaytiTheHeritage.com. HaytiTheHeritage.com. We have a section there where you can make comments, so if you want to make a comment about today's session, please do. Yes, sir. Please speak. Stand up. Let us see you. Your name?
My name is Clifton Wood, president of the Middle Mental Improvement Coalition at Worcester Community College. Hey, the thing that we're trying to do real quick is, you know what I'm saying, in Genesis 1:28, it says, be fruitful and multiply. And that's the only thing that I got out of this here whole thing today. If you hold in your knowledge and everything, you're not fruitful. And also in the Word of God, it says that a man had 3 bones. Within them 3 bones, he packed up everything. You see what I'm saying? All y'all who pastors, y'all follow me and everything, please let me know if I'm right or wrong.
You're right.
Okay, so if you got these 3 bones and everything, and you all of that knowledge, but you're not passing it on to these young kids or older kids, because my mom said you're never too young or never too old to learn. So you're packing in all this knowledge, but you're not passing it on as Jesus commanded you. And he said, have no other God before me. So we're not gods and everything, we're just being fruitful and multiplying. If you packing in those bones, he said also your soul will be required to meet tonight. Earlier today, we said we know the day nor the hour that he shall appear. That's what Dr. Ford said in a nutshell when he had those gentlemen on board. So that's all I'm saying. Just, you know what I'm saying? Not to take you out the gentleman right here, you know, how to pass on this right here. Just continue passing on knowledge. Don't hold it in. That's all we're trying to do. Not hold it in. Right here, I didn't even know nothing about half of what he was saying. 4 days in the mute, I preach on that every day. Really, that's what I know. Hey, 4 days in the mule is not, like I said, that land and a mule in front of us. It's that knowledge.
Right.
We were in the dirt, drawing out how to write and how to do about the cotton gene. So we won't have to be out there picking cotton all day. But now, we sitting up here, the only thing that we teach and pass on is how to load and unload a Glock 40. And as you said, how to sit here and kill my fellow brethren for stepping on my felines or, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case. Oh, you took my girl, so I'm going to kill, I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, take your life. And you in jail for life where your wife or your, you know what I'm saying, significant other that you fought over, now she's out here still doing what she wanted to do regardless. Or vice versa. Or a woman putting on, you know what I'm saying, fighting and stabbing and cutting up faces, why, over a dude. And now, he's still out here, or, you know, and you up there locked up for life.
Something we haven't touched on in here, and maybe this is something we can think about as we drive to our home places of destination, is self-hatred. And, you know, I don't know how many of you have heard of the letter, the Willie Lynch letter.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, some people say it's not even a real letter. But that's okay. Because it's a metaphor for reality. When you take, you know, see, so in the African-American culture, as we all know, you know, the nappy head against the curly head, the light against the dark, the short against the tall, the old against the young. So all of that was instilled in us, and a lot of that, in my opinion, is still in us.
Yes, it is.
And we don't like each other very much. So we have to reconcile that too. So we have some work to do as a people. But I think the conversation that we had today shows that we can have a civil conversation. But, you know, encourage your legislators to push Barack so that we'll have this conversation on a national scale. Because we have to have it. A lot of people are wondering why the turnout for the voting just this last Tuesday was so low. Well, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, you know, as black folks, we like to be motivated. And Barack wasn't speaking to that in the coming weeks for that election. He wasn't doing what he did when he was elected. He didn't talk very much to us. And he won because he talked to us. So we have to encourage our legislators to push him to keep talking to us.
He talked to everybody.
He talked to everybody.
He appealed
To everybody. But
it wasn't just us that got him in there.
no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Everybody.
It wasn't. But we have concerns and we have needs. You know, just as we show here with the statistics.
And the Willie Lynch letter is on our site.
One more comment before we...
I'm not an Afro-American. I am not a Caucasian. But I am a Latino. My personal opinion is that we missed the focus that all those gentlemen said on your film. We need to focus on that. The Hayti has grown backwards instead of forward. Now, going backwards doesn't mean less, because to be history, you have to be true. In order to continue with that, just imagine what would happen if we continue with that gentleman that said, we need to do it now. He's talking about 40 years ago. If we would have done it at that moment, we need people now, at this moment, see one child in each one of our schools, and you will see the hectare grow.
Very good.
My name is Donald.
Thank you, Donald, very much. Great comment.